Welcome, fellow educators, to our explainer. If you've ever felt like rolling out new DepEd policies is a bit like trying to put together a massive puzzle without having the picture on the box, trust me, you are not alone. As someone who has spent years working in curriculum implementation, I know exactly how overwhelming it can get on the ground. But today we're going to look at that complete picture together. We're talking about seamlessly connecting our new 3-term school calendar with our daily MATATAG teaching time. Let's make this super practical, very actionable, and crystal clear for every single teacher in the country. Let's just tackle the elephant in the room right away, okay? We need to address the big question that's been causing so much confusion. You open DepEd Order number 9, series of 2026, you flip to the sample class schedules for the instructional block in Annex A, and you're thinking, wait a minute, where are the specific minutes for our subjects? Well, here is the plain truth. D09 has absolutely no provision on time allotment. None at all. And why is that? Because D09 is exclusively about the 3-term school calendar. The actual guidance and standards on your daily minutes belong to the revised K-10 curriculum. You'll find those details exclusively in DepEd Orders 10 and 12, series of 2024.
So, here's our roadmap for today. We'll start by navigating the new DepEd Orders. Then explain the 3-term calendar, look at the MATATAG flexible time allotments, figure out how to combine the calendar and the minutes, and wrap up with academic recovery and wellness.
All right, Section 1. Navigating the new DepEd orders and understanding exactly what each policy is meant to do. I like to think of DepEd Order 9 as the house we are building for the school year. It gives us the structure, the walls, the rooms, the overall timeline. Meanwhile, DO 10 and 12, those are your furniture. They are the specific minutes for English, math, science, and so on that we carefully arrange inside that house. Just like you wouldn't look for the dimensions of your living room sofa on the architect's blueprint of the house, you shouldn't look for curriculum minutes in DO9. You rely on DO9 for the calendar days, and you lean on DO 10 and 12 for the MATATAG minutes.
Moving right along to Section 2, the 3-term calendar, let's unpack the framework of DO9.
So the new school year is made up of exactly 201 class days. Now you might be wondering, why that specific number? Well, looking back at our old 4-quarter system, we saw that constant, recurring class disruptions were really squeezing our instructional time. It was causing major learning gaps for our students and honestly, totally burning out our teachers. These 201 days under the new 3-term model are intentionally designed to protect continuous, uninterrupted learning and make your teaching workloads a whole lot more manageable.
Here is how we're actually going to use those days. Each term is built in 3 very distinct steps. First, there's an opening block of 4 to 5 days. Though keep in mind, this one is just for Term 1. It's for establishing your baselines, like doing your comprehensive rapid literacy assessments. Next up is the core instructional block. This is 61 to 62 days of highly protected teaching time. No suspensions, strictly academics. And finally, we wrap up with an end-of-term block of 8 to 10 days, which basically acts as a decompression chamber for all those heavy administrative tasks.
Okay, Section 3. Let's talk about the MATATAG flexible time allotments under the DO 10 and 12 provisions.
Now, to all the school heads tuning in, this is really where you have the power to lead. DepEd Order number 12 was issued specifically to amend DO 10 and give you unprecedented flexibility. Because let's be real, a one-size-fits-all approach just does not work for our diverse schools. This order literally lets you tailor your time allotments based on your school's unique context, your size, and the actual real-world availability of your teachers and classrooms.
Let's break down the choices you have. Option A is pretty straightforward. It sticks to the standard 45 minutes a day for all learning areas, 5 days a week. But option B, that's where the flexibility shines. You can assign uniform blocks of 50, 55, or 60 minutes per subject and just adjust how often they meet. So, for example, English, math, and science might happen 5 times a week, while MOP-H or TLE meet 4 times a week. It lets you build a schedule that actually works for your specific faculty roster. And there's a fantastic safety net built right in. If neither of those standard options fits your school's complex reality, you can propose completely different combinations. There's really only one non-negotiable rule here. The minimum learning contact time has to stay at 5 hours and 30 minutes a day, meeting specific minimum weekly minutes for core subjects. Just put your proposal together and get it approved by your school's division superintendent. Simple as that.
Let's move to Section 4, combining the calendar and the minutes. How does this actually look in practice?
To see how this works beautifully on the ground, there is a brilliant real-world example from the Bulacan division. Their official memo perfectly integrates the flexible time allotments of DO 12 directly into the DO 9 calendar structure. It shows exactly how the policy is meant to be applied. They mapped out the DO 12-minute options, whether that's 45, 50, 55, or 60 minutes, right alongside the DO 9 structure of the opening, instructional, and end-of-term blocks. It's a perfect blend of both policies.
Teachers, here is what this means for your everyday life and your daily lesson logs. Your DLLs will now focus entirely on teaching during that protected 61 to 62-day instructional block. We know how incredibly draining it is to constantly stop your lessons for non-academic tasks. Well, this block is fiercely protected from those disruptions. You finally get the uninterrupted days you need to properly execute the MATATAG curriculum using whatever minute allocation your school head selected from DO 12.
So the absolutely crucial takeaway here is integration. I really want to emphasize this because it's the specific lens you need to use for these policies. DO 9 doesn't list the minutes because it relies entirely on DO 10 and 12. DO 9 maps the days, the curriculum orders provide the actual minutes to fill those days. The fact that time allotments are missing in DO 9 is a feature. It is definitely not a bug. It deliberately prevents policy overlap and gives your school the ultimate freedom to adapt to your learners' needs.
Finally, Section 5, Academic Recovery and Wellness. Let's look at how this unified system protects both our learners and you, the teachers.
After you've spent those 61 to 62 days pouring your heart into teaching your MATATAG minutes, we hit the 8 to 10-day end-of-term block. Remember that decompression chamber I mentioned? This is it. It's exclusively dedicated to computing grades, finishing up school forms, doing in-service training, and running the intensive Oral program for our vulnerable learners who need that extra support. And notice the absolute best part here? Zero overlap with instructional days. You are no longer trying to compute grades while simultaneously teaching brand new daily lessons.
Most importantly, this end-of-term block includes a mandated wellness break. All the research tells us that cognitive overload stops students from actually retaining information, and it leads to severe long-term burnout for teachers. This built-in reset button allows everyone to clear out that cognitive load. It ensures that both you and your students are fully refreshed and truly ready before we loop back into the heavy instructional drive of the next term.
Let's just ground ourselves in why we are doing all of this. The rationale behind these orders really captures it perfectly. We are shifting to this structure to fiercely protect our instructional time so that learners can actually learn. And equally importantly, it's to safeguard your welfare as teachers so you have a realistic, manageable workload. By separating the calendar structure from the flexible minute allotments, DepEd is finally treating teachers like the highly capable professionals you truly are.
So now that the intersection of these policies is crystal clear, the calendar mapping your days and the MATATAG curriculum providing your specific minutes, the ball is firmly in your court. How will you use this newfound flexibility and this highly protected time to build the absolute best class program for your school? I really hope this explainer has equipped you with the clarity and confidence you need to lead your classrooms effectively. Thank you so much for learning with me today, and please keep up the incredible work you are doing for our learners every single day.